Hey guys, we are back with episode 6 of The Last of Us, and it's titled Kin. So now I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing Tommy. It's kind of soon, I thought, because they've got a ways to go, but pacing-wise for the show, I don't know how much we have to cover yet, so it is very possible that we might actually find Tommy in this episode. Our last episode, episode 5 was a dark one. So dark that my video got tagged as an 18 plus, not suitable for younger audiences, and demonetized because I'm guessing it was because of the dark matter of the episode. I don't know if other reactors got flagged for that episode, if it was just me or something I said or something I put in or what it was. But I have to say I am not surprised that if we were gonna get flagged, it was the last episode that finally did it. I don't know what else to say other than the last episode was a bummer. Like, what am I meant to say after that one? I know there was some people in the comments touching on the fact that Ellie has definitely changed. In this last episode, she's kind of taken on the darkness that we more often see in Joel with how she treated them moving on. She kind of pushed her emotions to the side and was like, all right, next stop, let's keep it going. I imagine as much as we are hopefully going to see character development in Joel when it comes to how you deal with your emotions and deal with loss and deal with finding your sense of purpose and all of those big ideas that come along with living life. As much as we're expecting to see that from Joel, I expect that we'll be seeing a lot from Ellie too. And maybe the reason that her development isn't as much on my mind as Joel's is right now is because we know Joel's backstory. A lot of the way that he lives his life has to do with what happened when he lost his daughter Sarah. And we don't know really anything about Ellie's backstory other than the fact that she was in Fedra school and she got taken in by Marlene once Marlene found out that she was immune to this infection. We do know that she possibly killed someone or used a gun on someone, I think. She's been through some dark stuff, and even Ellie has some topics that she's not willing to discuss, either just with Joel or just in general because she can't bear to think of it anymore. So Ellie definitely has trauma in her past that we have yet to uncover, and she has yet to, I think, compartmentalize and understand. It's interesting to see the different coping mechanisms compared to like a grown man and a teenage girl, because the coping mechanisms are very different. But I think that is what made the end of the last episode so striking, was the fact that Ellie's coping mechanism, instead of cracking a joke, it was just putting on a blank face and deciding to leave it all behind and move on and act like nothing's wrong, nothing happened, that she's not upset. That's what we're used to seeing from Joel. So that's a part of Joel that I don't really want to rub off on Ellie. I need Ellie and her humor. I need her jokes. I need her to stay positive. But of course, you can't expect someone to stay positive at all times in an environment like this. So it is all very complicated, but I'm excited to get into episode 6. We only got 4 episodes left now. We're over halfway officially. And then we'll only have 3 episodes when I finish this one. Oh. If you are interested in supporting me and my channel, because monetization is almost impossible with reaction content, I do have a Patreon that's linked below. I do post bonus content over there, so in the link you can see what kind of content is posted over there to see if that's something you would be interested in. Otherwise, let's just get into my reaction here on YouTube. Oh no.
Give me the gun. Give me the gun, Henry.
Which one of them is having flashbacks or nightmares?
Henry, no!
Oh, okay, I thought we were gonna cut to one of them, like, wake. 3 months later? I immediately need to know if there's a time jump in the game, or if there's just, like, too much little things to cover, and they decided to jump to the next big plot line. Who are you? Who are you?
Who the hell are you?
Just someone passing through. Take the gun out, 2 fingers only, put it out of reach.
Why did you shoot him?
The gun's all the way over there.
Can I come down?
No. Ellie.
Oh, what? Who's this little psycho?
Never mind her. I need you to tell us where we are. We're somewhere here. Exactly where. And your answer better be the same as your wife's.
You telling the truth?
Yeah?
Are you telling me the truth?
Yeah?
What about the fireflies?
We get those in the summer.
Not the bugs, the people.
There are firefly people?
Go east. But you never go past the river here.
We never seen who's out there, but we see the bodies they leave behind. Some infected, some not.
Okay, I'm okay. I'm fine.
No, but are you? Because just a reminder that you're dead, I'm
I
fucked.
said I'm fine.
Ellie, I can't tell if that was like giving us a hint that he has some like physical sickness of some sort that's starting up, or if that was like an anxiety attack, which I would not be surprised at all from given like the news. He clearly is worried about Tommy not being alive. If what they say is out west is out west.
Let's say we find the fireflies, it all works. They draw my blood and put it through some of their fancy machines and make a cure. Then what? Like, what do we do?
Well, it's a we.
Okay, fine, whatever. You.
An old farmhouse, some land, a ranch.
Cool. What kind?
Sheep. They're quiet. Do what they're told.
Yeah, okay.
And what about you? Where are you gonna go?
It's probably because I grew up in the QZ. Behind you, there's ocean, and ahead of you, there's a wall. Or else to look but up. I read everything I could in the school library. Like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Jim Lovell. But you know who my favorite is?
Sally Ride.
Sally fucking Ride. It'll work, right? The vaccine.
It's a little late to start wondering.
I just don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna.
I was quiet. I checked my six. I looked for tracks. I found the high ground, and I kept watch, like you taught me to.
Good
What can I
job.
say, man? I'm a natural.
Say good job, Joel.
Wake me up next time.
Okay, we got a nod of
Sir.
approval. Okay, here we go. The River of Death.
The River of Death. Still no people.
Oh, mountains are pretty in the back. God. Maybe Tommy is with these guys. You never know.
If you're infected, he will smell it and he will rip you up.
Oh wait, is he gonna think that Ellie's infected?
Now her.
Okay. My God, how long did it take him to build all this? Oh, this is kind of cute. Oh my God. Tommy?
Tommy!
Wow. This is nice. Oh.
What the fuck you doing here? I came here to save you.
I don't think he wants to be saved. I think he's doing just fine here.
Ma'am, we're grateful for your hospitality and all, but it'd be nice to have a moment here, maybe just for family.
Well, Maria is family, actually.
Oh shit.
Congrats.
That just furthers the point that I was afraid of. Joel thinks he needs to save Tommy. Tommy doesn't want to be saved. He's got a wife. He's got a town.
This place actually fucking works.
Sheep.
Hey Joel, check it.
Everyone pitches in. We rotate patrols, food prep, repairs, hunting, harvesting.
Everything you see in our town,
Wow.
greenhouses, livestock.
So, communism.
Yeah.
Nah,
Kinda.
nothing like that.
It is that,
Yeah.
literally. This is a commune. We're communists. Put them in the empty house across the street from us.
Yeah, pretty much untouched since '03, but I just got the heat going in it. Could do worse.
Oh, trust me, we have been.
We've been doing fine.
Oh, Joel. I feel like there's so much to unpack from that one line. I feel like he just wants to prove himself to his brother, first off. You know, he's always been the one to make sure Tommy's okay, and now Tommy's the one who's doing great, and Joel is kind of a little bit lost, and he's lost so many people, and now he's like, Ellie, don't make me look bad. We've been doing good.
Thanks for still giving a shit about me.
Thanks for contacting Joel.
So how's Tess?
She's fine. All right?
Good then. Yeah, I can't go.
Oh, come on. I made it across the country. The two of us can make it from here to Colorado. What, because your wife won't let you?
Joe.
She the one who kept you off the radio?
I didn't even
I'm
think
your
about
brother.
that.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Ooh, hold on. I did not even think about that. The fact that Maria would have stopped him from contacting Joel. I thought it was heading in the direction of, because Tommy had seemed to go through all these phases. I think we heard that he was part of like all of these different groups and he would end up leaving, find a different group, end up leaving. I just thought that he was kind of like giving, you know how there's those people who they start dating somebody and then you never hear from them even though they're your friend and whatever, but they're just so consumed by like their new life and their new person that they just don't have time for you anymore. I thought that's kind of what this was leading to with Tommy. And it might be a mix of that, it could, but there might be something weird about this commune. I'm trying to decide if they're trustworthy or not, because like at the end of the day, they've done what works for them. But if you're telling me that you as a member of this commune are not allowed to like speak to outsiders when they're family, especially, that's weird. That's weird, and that's not okay.
So is that what I am? Am I the wrong people?
Joe,
Those things I did, Tommy, those things that you judge me for. I did those things to keep us alive.
We did those things. We murdered people. And I don't judge you for it. We survived the only way we knew how. But there were other ways. We just weren't any good at them.
If you knew the shit that I've been through, Tommy, trying to find you these last few months.
I'm gonna be a father.
I knew it.
So I just gotta be more careful. Just because life stopped for you doesn't mean it has to stop for me.
Go grab some supplies and be out of your hair in the morning.
Yeah, I don't want to stay here. It's for sure anxiety. It's for sure anxiety. Oh my god. Sarah's hair. Isn't that crazy? How it haunts you for what's it been 20 years. And obviously you'll never forget a lost one or a loved one when they're gone, especially when it's your kid. But like how you can just like snap those little things remind you of them and 20 years later. Oh man.
It's super fucking purple.
Eggplant. It fits.
Yeah.
Shoes aren't too big.
No.
You were looking at the little memorial Tommy made?
Yeah. I'm sorry about your kids.
It's okay. And kid, just Kevin. Sarah was Joel's daughter.
Oh, I didn't realize Ellie doesn't know about that. I never thought that she didn't even know about that. I don't know why.
Look, I'm not gonna ask you what you're doing with him.
Good.
But there are clearly things you don't know about Joel.
Oh, like how he used to kill people? I know about that.
So then you understand my concern.
He doesn't do that anymore.
He stopped killing people?
Innocent ones. And Tommy did it too. Are you worried about him?
Tommy was following Joel.
Oh, come on.
The way you are now.
Well, maybe I'm smarter than Tommy. No offense.
Grab your super fucking eggplant coat.
Where are we going?
The movies.
I shouldn't have said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even believe it. What is this?
I don't want it. Don't tell him.
She's immune.
Oh.
She got infected, but she didn't get sick. Tommy.
Don't freak out.
Tommy.
From the beginning.
Okay. That's a good sign that he doesn't just storm out. Sitting and listening is good.
But she had to shoot him to save me, 14 years old. Because I was too slow and too fucking deaf to hear him coming. You think I can still handle things, but I'm not who I was. I'm weak. Lately, there are these moments where the fear comes up out of nowhere, and my heart feels like it stopped. And I have dreams.
So that was his dream at the beginning of the show.
You want me to take her?
I'm just gonna get her killed, I know it.
No.
I know it.
No.
I have to leave her.
Oh my god, no.
You're younger than me. You're still strong. You said it yourself. You'll come back. You have to take her.
I can't be mad at Joel because it's not like he's just trying to get rid of her. Like, he just doesn't believe that he can keep her safe, and he wants to keep her safe so badly.
Listen,
Why are you here?
I came here to talk to you.
No, why are you still here? If you're gonna ditch me, ditch me.
How does she already know?
What exactly did you hear?
I have to leave her. You have to take her.
Oh my god.
I made this decision for your own good. You'll be way better off with Tommy.
I'm not her, you know.
Ooh.
Maria told me about Sarah, and
No.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel. But I've lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
How do you know?
Everybody I have cared for has either died or left me. Everybody fucking except for you! So don't tell me that I'd be safe with somebody else, because the truth is, I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. Now come dawn, we're going our separate ways. You deserve a choice. I still think you'd be better off with Tommy.
Let's go.
Okay. General direction?
Head southeast till you hit I-25. It's right off the interstate. Should be hard to miss.
I cannot, but we're not gonna move past the conversation that was had last night. I really thought that Joel and Ellie were gonna get split up here. I thought Tommy was gonna take Ellie and like take her out and try to do something bad, and then something terrible was gonna happen, and then Joel was gonna have to save her. And I thought it was gonna lead off into this whole plot because of this stupid argument. It wasn't stupid. It was about real life things. But now all of a sudden it's like, I wonder what made him change his mind. Now because Joel seemed so scared, and he seemed really convinced. It seemed that he really convinced himself that the best thing to do is have Tommy take over and get her off to Colorado. And then obviously the conversation he had with her last night was explosive and not good. Now I'm just wondering what changed for him. I feel like he knew that she would prefer him even still, and he decided, he was going to do it. But I wonder what made him change his mind. I'm also really surprised. Not really surprised, but I think it says a lot that Ellie put her pride aside and immediately chose Joel, because after the fight that happened last night, I feel like any teenage girl would be like, no, I'm going with Tommy, because you'd be mad at Joel. But like it's like a perfect parallel. She's no regular teenage girl, as you can see. She's not like other girls. I'm sorry, I don't mean it that way, but like her reading that diary of a normal, pre-apocalyptic teenage girl just is like impossible for her to think of, like acting that way and having those types of priorities. I feel like her just immediately saying to Joel, yeah, I'm going with you. Despite everything that transpired between them the night before, she immediately put all of her pride aside and said, no, yeah, I'm going with you. That says a lot about what she prioritizes and how much she has attached to Joel at this point, which makes sense because it's been not only what we've seen in these last episodes, but also the 3 months of them being together as well through the last episode and this episode. So yeah, interesting. Now I'm nervous about these last 10 minutes. Something's gonna go wrong. I don't know what would be worse, like stumbling upon a bunch of infected or something.
Wide right.
Oh, thank God.
You're flinching.
I thought the town was shooting at them.
You squeeze the trigger like you love it. Gentle, steady, nice and slow.
You gonna shoot this thing or get it pregnant? It isn't gonna work. It doesn't aim right. You dick.
What a pretty shot. I love the outline, the outline of their silhouettes against the sun. Oh, these shots, so pretty.
Well, how about that? Made it in 5 days.
Easy days.
Why is this so suspicious? Don't say that.
Time to find out.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't see any fireflies though.
Yeah.
Probably in the middle.
Are you kidding?
Safer.
I swear, if there aren't any fireflies at this base either, what are they supposed to do then?
I don't want a sheep ranch, actually. I mean, if the deal is I can do anything.
That's the deal.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a singer.
Shut up.
Why is that funny?
Are those monkeys?
What
From the old
the?
labs.
Look at them go.
No. What if they're infected? Can those be, can they? What if something's up with those monkeys? Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, jeez.
There's a packing list. Something you make before moving.
And is that why? What is that?
Maybe not all of them.
No, don't go up there. I knew the monkeys were... Oh, okay. Thought they were gonna be evil.
That's where they went.
All the pins lead there.
Oh.
Maybe getting ahead of the weather.
Shoot. 4 of them. No, we all know this isn't gonna go off without a hitch. Oh my god. My goodness. We're just supposed to keep those in?
Get on the horse. Joel?
No.
Joel? Joel, no, shit! I can't fucking do this without you. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. What the fuck I'm gonna do?
Okay, he can't be dead. I know he can't be dead. He's the main character.
Joel, please.
But this is bad. Don't end it here. Oh my god. Can't we have like one uplifting cliffhanger on one of these episodes? That'd be great. Just one. That's all I'm asking. This was an interesting one. I don't know why this episode felt very different from the others, and maybe it was because of like the passage of time. So Joel and Ellie, the dynamic, you can tell it has shifted from when we last saw them. And there was like a lot crammed into this episode. I don't think in a bad way. You know, we had the 3 months, and then we were at the commune, and then in Jackson, I think it was. Then we left there, and then we had like a quick 5-day trek that we blasted through in probably like 3-4 minutes. I don't even know. And then we arrived in Colorado at the university. And it ended like that. That was rude. So, one thing I wrote down that I thought was really cute was the conversation between Joel and Ellie where they were talking about what they would want to be and what they would want to do if the apocalypse ever did come to an end. I thought Joel saying that he wanted like a sheep farm was very fitting, and I thought that, you know, Ellie wanting to be an astronaut makes all the sense in the world, given the world that she's grown up in. Of course, she would want to leave it if given the chance. I really liked how later on in the episode, Joel was like, hey, actually, you know, when I was younger, I wanted to be a singer. And I don't know, him saying that and like revealing that, I feel like that's a little piece of vulnerability. Like, he just does not seem the type to have wanted to be a singer. Like, he doesn't seem the type that to want like attention for something like that. And you know, Ellie jabbed at him, but he's okay with the jabs from Ellie. They jab each other back and forth now. They have more of like a understanding of what they can and can't say to each other, unless, you know, Ellie gets hurt, which she did get hurt by Joel in this episode when she thought that he was going to leave her. And then, you know, all the claws were out from both sides, which, to be honest, is very common in what could be described as like a paternal / I don't know, a father-daughter relationship. Of course, we all know they're not actually father and daughter, but that is kind of the relationship that they're forming. And I feel like maybe it was the first time they really called that out is during their fight where she screamed, "I'm not your daughter." And actually it was very wise of her, I think, because at this point in Joel's life, given everything that he's been through and given his age and how he's had much more time to be jaded by the world and by the apocalypse than Ellie has, he has more of this PTSD and anxiety that he's dealing with, and a lot of that does come from the trauma of losing his child. I was surprised to hear him say that she doesn't know what loss is. I don't think where are her parents? She had parents. Where's her family and friends? Like, she knows what loss is, I'm sure. She's alone in this world at 14. She's experienced plenty of loss. But I think he was just frustrated and saying things that didn't even have to make sense. Her calling him out and saying, "Hey, I'm not your daughter," was basically her saying, "Hey, you don't have to be scared." How do I say it? Don't push the trauma that you have because of your experience with Sarah. Don't push that Sarah trauma onto me. I'm not Sarah. I'm not your daughter. I'm alive. We have a chance here. You know, I think that's what she was trying to say. It kind of turned into a, "I'm not your daughter," and well, I'm not your father either kind of argument. And I feel like that was the first time that they truly acknowledged the fact that there is a real father-daughter relationship between them at this point, whether that makes either of them scared or not, because, you know, that fear of losing someone strengthens when you have a bond like that. And the only other time I think that they were mentioned as father-daughter, this whole father-daughter relationship, was mentioned was when, in the last episode actually, when Henry referred to Joel as Ellie's father. He said something like, your father's crazy, I don't know. And then they immediately both were like, she was like, he's not my dad. And he was like, she's not my daughter. Like, they immediately were like quick to correct him and be like, oh, no way. And it is just really interesting to compare that reaction from them 3 months ago, where the idea of like a father-daughter relationship even was like, oh no, that's not what it's like. You know, they were kind of like huffy about it, to something as passionate as that fight about you're not my daughter, you're not my dad. That kind of passionate fight about what their relationship is very revealing of how much closer they've become and how much more scared they are of losing each other and scared of what the relationship between them has become. So I don't know, I think those are really interesting parallels. Also, I feel like every episode to some extent has a little bit of ethics thrown in. It's made to make you think, if this is okay, is that okay? If this isn't okay, is this okay? What is it isn't okay, right? And we met that old couple that lived out on their own ranch just outside of Jackson, where the town was. And they warned them, like, everyone who goes over that river, they don't come back, and they see bodies popping up, dead bodies, some infected, some not, you know. So they said, whatever's over that river, you don't want to mess with it. We found out what was over the river of death. It is this commune that Tommy's a part of, and it's like this town with a council. Everything is voted on by the public, and including who's on the council, including everything the council decides. Everything they do in this town is voted on by the community. It's all about fairness, except of course, you know, apparently when Tommy wants to reach out to his brother, that's not allowed, you know. That even though you might think that's not fair, you know. I'm stuck on that. I'm stuck on Tommy not reaching out, because I still don't think it was completely answered of whether Tommy decided not to reach out because he was happy in his cushy new community and he found his place in the world that he's happy with, and maybe he just didn't care to reach out to Joel anymore, you know? Or is it like Maria is that controlling and that town is that controlling about keeping it within their little limits, and they don't want any outsiders, whether that be family or friends of their community. And I feel like both of those are just not the greatest. So because of that, and, you know, the cold welcome, I could understand the cold welcome. You know, you want to make sure that you're not letting someone who's been around infected or is going to become infected, you don't want to let that person into your community. So I understand why they had to be a little bit intense in the beginning with the dog and the horses and the guns and all that. But it was more so the Tommy not reaching out that made me more suspicious of what kind of community is this, or what type of person is Tommy. You know, it's one or the other. I still feel like I'm left unanswered about that. You know, I still don't know what to think. I imagine that we're going to see Tommy again. Like, it's Joel's brother. It's Joel's only family. So I have to imagine we'll see Tommy someday. And it just felt like so much was building up to Joel finding Tommy that I expected there to be more to come out of it. And it kind of, when it came to what it came to, I was just like, oh, like I thought even when they were leaving, Joel and Ellie were leaving the town, I was like, is this where Tommy betrays us? Is this where the town betrays us? Like, what was the point of all this? And they just let us go. And Tommy pointed us in the right direction for Colorado, and everything was fine, you know, given outside of, you know, some family trauma. The concept of family was very prevalent in this episode. Ellie, I didn't even realize Ellie, I'm sure I did realize if I thought about it, but I just hadn't thought about it, that Ellie didn't know about Sarah. Now she does. I feel like now that Ellie knows about Sarah, we might see Ellie open up about her own family too, maybe in the next episode. Yeah, it was just a lot about family. Tommy's out here making his own family. Joel reconnected with family and found out, you know, I'm not really totally wanted here. Ellie learned about the family that Joel used to have. Definitely gave her a lot of insight into him, I'm sure. And at the end of the day, if we're continuing with like this family theme, Joel and Ellie got over themselves and realized, you know what, it's me and you. And they didn't say the words, but to me, this episode solidified that they've decided that they are each other's family at this point. And family fights, family makes up, family sticks together. I don't know why I'm also really freaked out about these monkeys. The monkeys freak me out. I thought they were going to be infected monkeys. I imagine animals can become infected. I feel like we saw maybe like an infected dog or something. I was scared that the monkeys were going to be infected, or like we're around like these doctors, like what if they experimented on the monkeys and the monkeys have gone crazy and they're going to be a threat. But no, they weren't the threat at the end of the episode. The raiders were. Thank God they didn't have guns, or we probably wouldn't have made it out of that one. Joel is gonna barely make it out of this, but I'm guessing, I'm hoping, and I'm guessing, I know Joel's not gonna die. It's impossible. Joel cannot die. Otherwise, it's over. Like, the show's over, the game's over. Joel can't die. At least not until the end of The Last of Us 2. At least. So I know he's gonna be fine, but, you know, it was scary to see that. We haven't come across a bad physical attack in that way yet. We haven't dealt with something this gruesome yet between the two of them. So I'm going to be really interested to see how Ellie figures this out, because it's a lot to put on her shoulders to take care of a stab wound and on this guy. Like, I don't know how she's going to, I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know how they're going to get through it, but I just know that they are, and I'm anxious to see how they do it. I'm not that surprised that the Fireflies are no longer at the Colorado base. I'm a little bit annoyed because it's like, really? We've gone through all this and you're not here. I guess it has been a long time, but I wish we had some way to stay in contact with Marlene. That would be really nice, like a walkie-talkie or something. I don't know. And I think it would be crazy if the doctors weren't at the Salt Lake City base. Like, you can't fake us out twice. You already faked us out once. It's not gonna happen again. You better be at Salt Lake City, otherwise I'm gonna be so mad. But I'm thinking my predictions for this next episode, we've got 3 episodes left now. I think the next episode is going to be Joel's healing journey. I don't know if they're going to skip through that and kind of show like quickly what Ellie was able to do for him and then we move on, or if it's going to be like a serious thing that is going to be an ailment for the rest of the show. I'm not sure. But I do think we're going to reach Salt Lake City in the next episode. We still haven't learned a lot about the Fireflies exactly and what specifically they're planning on doing with Ellie. But yeah, I think the next episode is going to be Salt Lake City, Fireflies, and it's going to end on like another terrible cliffhanger, because I realized, you know, we can't have any exciting, fun endings. They all have to be terrible. So I'm guessing the cliffhanger for the next episode is going to be like them finding out that whatever they're planning to do to Ellie is not good for Ellie. Like, it's going to be dangerous for Ellie. And I think we're going to have some big dun-dun moment at the end of the next episode. That'll be episode 7. Then my guess will be episode 8 will be them trying to escape the Firefly situation, maybe. And I think episode 9 is going to come down to like a huge war type episode, right? Where it's like every creature, it's going to be all a huge infected war. It's going to be like a wipeout. I think at the end of the season is going to bring us to Joel and Ellie making it out and looking back at everything and no longer having anyone to turn to. I think at this point, through this season, we've had like the structure of we just need to get rid of the Fireflies and maybe they'll be able to help and they'll be able to get a cure. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the Fireflies are going to be able to help. I don't think a cure is going to happen. I think the end of the season is going to be leading to Ellie and Joel completely on their own with no idea what to do. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking in terms of video games. Would a video game end on a cliffhanger like that? There must be some sort of decent resolution. I don't know. But since I know there's a season 2, I'm like, I don't know. I think season 2 is just going to be even more aimless in terms of what the heck are we supposed to do now, you know? Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I am very, very excited to get into episode 7 next week, and I will see you guys then.